That's why the book teaches us. Goals are important, but even more important is embracing the path that leads you there. Because when you learn to love the process, every day, every moment becomes a victory in itself. But here's the challenge. Whenever we practice something, whether it's studies, a skill, or even a small habit, our attention quickly drifts. We start thinking, when will this be over? I'm trying so hard. Why am I not seeing results? Maybe I'm not good at this. Slowly, that task begins to feel tiring, boring. But the book explains, real focus doesn't just lie in what we are doing. It lies in the moment we are in. Thomas M. Sterner says, mindfulness, living every moment with full awareness, is not some difficult meditation practice or a special technique. It's simply a way of living, a new perspective of thinking. Mindfulness means, whatever you are doing, do it with your whole mind. For example, if you're washing dishes, don't just think of it as finishing a chore. Feel the coolness of the water. Notice the movement of your hands. Be aware of every action. That is mindfulness. If you are eating food, don't just eat to fill your stomach. Experience each bite, its aroma, its taste, its warmth. That is mindfulness. The book teaches us that mindfulness is not something huge or difficult. It's hidden in the small moments we usually ignore. When you're talking to someone, don't just listen to reply. Truly listen. Look into their eyes. Understand their emotions. That's what it means to live that moment fully. And once you learn to do this, you begin to bring your mind back to the present again and again. Then the mistakes of the past stop haunting you. The worries of the future stop bothering you. You exist in the moment, where you truly feel alive. And this is one of the most precious lessons of this book. When you learn to live in the now, you learn to live fully. Your life begins to change. You start feeling happiness even in the smallest things, and every moment begins to feel like a gift. This is mindfulness, and this is the true art of living. Have you ever asked yourself this question? Why am I so behind? Why have those people gone ahead of me? Why does this only happen to me? Most of us compare ourselves to others every single day. The moment we open social media, we see someone's car, someone's success, someone's lifestyle, and we start feeling that we are lacking in some way. We begin to measure ourselves by other people's standards, and in doing so, we start drifting away from our true selves. But in the book Master the Practicing Mind, a very beautiful and truthful point is made, that a real competition should only be with yourself. Your real competitor is the person you were yesterday. If you just try to become 1% better every day, then in 1 year you can become 365% better. Just imagine how big a transformation can begin with just one small step. Thomas Sterner says that real change never comes in a single day. It's not like a TV show where life changes overnight. Real change comes slowly, gradually, through small daily efforts, small practices, and by being patient with yourself. If every day you show just a little bit of focus, a little bit of discipline, and a little bit of patience, you can transform yourself into the person you dream of becoming. The biggest lesson of this book is, walk slowly, but don't stop. You don't need to run faster than the world. You just need to keep moving forward every day at your own pace. It doesn't matter how fast someone else is running. The real question is, are you a little better today than you were yesterday? Did you keep a promise you made to yourself today? If yes, then you are on the right path. When you start living with this perspective, a deep ease starts entering your life. Then there is no jealousy, no inferiority complex. You begin to love yourself, and that is the true root of confidence. Most of us are busy chasing perfection in everything we do. We think if we make a mistake, leave something incomplete, or don't get the exact result we expected, then it's all wasted. We start treating perfection like a destination that we must reach. Otherwise, we are failures. And in this mindset, we put so much pressure on ourselves that even work starts to feel like a burden. But in this book, Thomas Sterner teaches us a very beautiful and profound truth. Perfection is an illusion. Perfection is not a fixed result, not a rule that everything must be flawless. True perfection is when you are doing something wholeheartedly, with complete focus, without fear or haste, no matter how small the task is. Whether it's cleaning a room, humming a song, or simply saying a heartfelt thank you, if you are fully present in that act, that is perfection. Thomas says that when you approach any task with a mindset of, I am giving my best in this moment, then you are already successful. You don't need to meet others' standards of perfection. You just need to be true to yourself. And when you do things with this approach, every task gains a certain beauty, a peace, a depth that comes not from outside but from within. The meaning of life is not that everything must happen without mistakes, but that we bring our full presence, our full energy, and our whole heart into whatever we do. When we live like this, not only does our work improve, but we begin to feel better about ourselves too. So from now on, while doing any work, don't ask yourself, is this perfect? Instead, ask, did I put my heart into this? Because when something is done with love and sincerity, its shine is far greater than technical perfection. And that is the real beauty that makes life magical. Another very deep and important teaching of this book is this: just making big goals is not enough. The real magic lies in building a strong and simple system. We often think that if we set a big target, like losing 10 kilos in 6 months, earning a lot in a year, or finishing a book in a month, then we'll succeed. But just setting a goal won't take us there. Unless we have a daily system, a proper method, that goal will remain only a dream. If you start paying attention to your daily small tasks, like waking up at a fixed time, meditating for a while, practicing, reviewing yourself, these small steps together create the path to big success. And the most important thing is, when you focus on the system, you make progress little by little every day, and that tiny daily progress eventually grows so big that it even surprises you. Just imagine, if a child practices piano for just 15 minutes every day, in 1 year he would have practiced for more than 90 hours. And those 90 hours take him to a place he might have never imagined. That is the power of a system. It lifts you up quietly, without pressure, without noise, but steadily. That's why the author says, just saying, I want to become this, is not enough. You have to ask yourself, what am I doing daily for it? If your focus is on the system, the daily small practices, then the goal will start following you automatically. The destination won't just be a single point anymore. It will become a part of the journey. Master the Practicing Mind teaches us that more important than setting targets is creating habits that polish you every day. Because once you master the system, no goal is ever too far. It simply becomes a milestone on the path. Thomas M. Sterner shares a very beautiful and life-changing insight in this book. Thomas M. Sterner shares a very beautiful and life-changing insight in this book. Practice is not just for learning a special skill, like playing piano or playing cricket. In reality, life itself is a practice. Yes, you heard right. Every day, every turn, every situation is practice. When you talk to your loved ones, when you try to understand and nurture relationships, that too is practice. When you're angry but try to stay calm, that's also practice. When you're stuck in traffic but still remain patient, you're not just driving, you are practicing patience. Even when you make a mistake and then accept it, learn from it, and try to improve yourself, that too is practice. We often think practice means repeating a specific skill again and again. But from the perspective of this book, every experience, every emotion, every reaction is part of practice. When you start living with this mindset, your whole life begins to change. Then you don't get upset with yourself for not doing something perfectly. Instead, you think, I'm learning, I'm practicing. You stop comparing yourself too much with others and start seeing yourself as a student, someone who is learning every day, someone who sees mistakes as opportunities to improve. Living with this mindset brings deep balance within you. You stop fighting life and start embracing it. You learn something new in every situation, and that's what makes you calm, wise, and deeply connected within. Master the Practicing Mind teaches us that life is not a final test. It is continuous practice. And when you embrace this practice, life not only becomes easier but also richer, deeper, more beautiful, and peaceful. Friends, listening to or reading Master the Practicing Mind is not like finishing a book. It is like a meditation, like a soulful experience. This book doesn't give you magical tricks or make big promises. It teaches you something very simple yet profound. That true success is not a destination, but the way you live every day. When you learn to live every moment with awareness, when you bring presence into every effort, whether it's a small task or a big decision, you don't just succeed outwardly, you begin to feel peaceful, happy, and complete from within. And that is what every human truly wants. Not just money or fame, but peace of heart. In this fast, noisy life, we are all searching for that deep peace. We all want someone to stop us, hold us, and say, "It's okay. Just live this moment." And this book comes into our lives with exactly that voice. If you do want that stillness, where your mind feels clear, your heart feels light, and every moment of life feels meaningful, then this book is for you. Master the Practicing Mind is not just a book. It is a way of living, a philosophy, a method of thinking and being that can transform you from within. It teaches that the magic of change is not outside, but hidden in your daily small efforts. So if you want to begin this journey, if you want to rediscover your inner peace, if you want to live each day with completeness, then you must not just read this book, but adopt it into your life. Because when you start living the Practicing Mind, you will realize that there is something far more beautiful in life than just success.